Hello, my friends, and welcome to tonight's episode of the League of Amazing Adventurers here on twitch.tv/tabletop rolls. It's episode 93.
Mm-hmm.
93, 7 more episodes and we hit 100.
Yes.
A little bit under 2 months till we hit our 100th episode, y'all. And
That's almost 2 fortnights.
Wow.
Fortnite.
oh, we're going to have to floss now. Anyway.
No.
Oh.
Did someone say
2017?
floss? I
love that you have that
flossing.
there.
I don't have dental insurance, so I floss.
It's important.
I hate
It
being
is.
an American.
To be fair, I'm Canadian. I have to pay for all my dentist stuff anyway.
Yes, but not for long.
Okay.
NDP got dental with the liberal deal. At least that's my understanding.
This
Well,
is news to me.
Yeah.
But how long is it going to take to come into effect?
God, hopefully only a year.
We're inching towards utopia.
Maybe someday.
I do floss every day. If I don't, my gums bleed. So,
It's true.
Oh, bleeding gums, Murphy.
a few announcements before we begin. Programming schedule. Wednesday, you're watching it right now, League of Amazing Adventurers. Friday, this week, Calling Chronicle. The penultimate episode. Monday, next week, Strength of Thousands. Wednesday, next week, League of Amazing Adventurers. Friday, next week, off because Rose has D23 tickets and I don't want to make her miss D23 for the end of the campaign. And then Salt and Sorcery will be back on that Saturday. Ooh woo.
Ooh woo.
Stardew Sunday will also be back on that Sunday. Then Monday, Strength of Thousands. Then Tuesday, Cult of the Lamb starts. Then Wednesday, League of Amazing Adventurers. Then, this is on September 16th, the finale of the Calling Chronicle. The finale, the final episode.
That's so wild.
Isn't
All my
that-
campaigns are coming to an end this year.
Well, I mean, like, at the rate y'all are going, this one might not come to an end this year. Let's be honest.
Let's just plane shift now. Let's leave this world behind.
Yo, I would.
It had a good run.
We take one look at Trelladar and no, I give up. No, let's go. We're moving.
Well, see,
Giving
the thing is for
America.
League, right? The thing is for League, at the very least in the Trelladar arc alone, y'all have about 3 to 4 sessions in what I have like planned out. Maybe more, maybe less, depending on things you do. And then after that, we have the level 20 arc. So this could very well take us to the new year.
Ooh.
Yay!
I see this as a challenge.
But yeah,
To make it last longer than that, or to make it shorter than that?
Working on stuff.
Longer.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
giving this another year.
We're gonna
I
have
will
2
drag
more
this out
Christmas specials
so
with
long.
League of Amazing Adventurers. You heard it here first. 4 years in a movie.
Unbelievable.
We're going to grad school, everyone.
Mhm,
Jesus.
mhm.
No.
if we have a movie, I'd like Tom Holland to play me. Anyway. So, those are all of our programming announcements. Next up is our cast announcements. Hello, cast.
Hi.
Hi.
We have our wonderful cast of characters with us. Of course, as always, we have Abby of Abby's Worlds of Stage Fame, playing Corellia Cassandra. Say hi, Abby.
Hi. For every gift or sub-gifted on today's stream, I will give the best uwu of my life.
Yeah.
Wow.
Woo.
That's something.
Yeah.
That's quite the incentive.
well.
Speaking of incentives, someone who has an incentive to continue being awesome as they are the head of their own little Cooper cult, we have Cooper playing Lynx.
Hi.
They are biding their time with their followers, waiting for the right moment.
Me and my followers do not suffer fools anymore, and that's on God.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of suffering fools, we have McKenna playing
Honk honk.
Nimbus. who's probably just posted a TikTok.
Sure did.
What did
You know what, Abby? I will match your uwu and throw in an ada ada for every. I can't. I just said that and I
Do it!
physically died inside.
You already said it. Too late to back out.
I might. If you sub, I might RR for you, but just know that it will kill me inside.
You heard it here, folks.
And speaking of dying on the inside, we have Matt.
You know, it's a fair cop, but society's to blame. And for every whatever is triggering everyone else's degeneracy, I will make a random noise. You don't know what it is. It might be terrible. It might be delightful. You don't know.
I like that. I think that's a good deal.
I'll
That's not what
I'll create
Cooper
a-
did. Don't
I'll
do
create a
what
little
Coop's giving them
sting.
away for free.
Oh yeah.
Stop it.
Ow,
Get
ow.
some help.
No, I don't think I will.
In this economy?
Oh, ow, ow.
That was too real. I'm sorry, Cooper.
One. Last time on the League of Amazing Adventurers, our party did a whole lot of stuff. And I have a very bad memory of stuff. But I think some highlights included Abby gaslighting her way out of the bad situation. Lynx helping Abby gaslight their way out of a bad situation.
It was great.
McKenna and Nimbus and Garl getting some runes from the Archmages and learning how to gain access to Treladars in their sanctum. Then they went and found Lucinda, a NPC who's been talked about for literally years in this campaign to the party,
Yeah.
and they finally
yeah.
met her.
Yeah, that took a while, huh?
And she's girl bossing it.
Good for her.
Chekhov's character.
Yeah,
It's a surprise
Um,
tool that'll help us later.
that was Arinari.
Oh God.
Correct.
Yeah.
We
There was some
also
memory
gotta
magic
send
done.
Somebody his memories back once he regains consciousness.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Well, what little memories that were there.
Oh, sweet
3
baby
months
boy.
worth.
hmm And then, of course, Corellia got her memories back.
Yeah.
I think that's everything that happened last week.
Mhm.
Uncle?
Right? Not crazy?
No.
I mean, no more than usual.
Well, yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's a certain level of unhinged that I always am, but that's beside the point.
There's a baseline.
So then, what would y'all like to do? It is about noonish Treladar time,
Mhm.
Treladar standard time. Nimbus, your brother, is still passed out.
Yeah, Nim has no intentions of going anywhere until Malachor wakes up. She's still holding his hand, and Merle is seated on his shoulder, giving him a little Merle snuggle.
I could, the dream of every isekai protagonist, I could give him a lap pillow.
Not what I thought you were gonna say.
I'm unexpected tonight. I mean, Garl's got big legs. It'd be a very comfortable pillow.
True.
All the
Correct.
crystals.
Pardon?
Oh, I said all the crystals.
Well, no, the crystals are mostly on the back.
Mostly on the shoulders.
Apparently,
Okay.
though, that was the one thing other last week that happened. We learned that Garl apparently has a Control S button to keep the memories backed up on the back of her little crystal.
Yeah.
You like just every couple hours, push that in, save your work.
Good for
Probably
her.
Meaning to thumb drive. You just
Yeah.
The Carl thumb drive.
Oh god, there's a "Have you tried turning girl on and off" joke that I can't think of a proper punchline of, and I just
That's okay.
Wiggles my eyebrows.
That's a joke in and of itself. Cassandra knows how to do it.
Have you tried turning her off and on again?
Yes, I
Probably.
have.
In their free time.
that raises several
We're on a
questions.
roll.
That wiggles several eyebrows.
Hmm. My goal tonight, though, is for us to just create as much content and keep poor Will from having to talk with his.
Whatever do you mean? I'm perfectly fine.
We're dragging
Liar.
this out for another year.
So I say we have a real-time, long conversation about all our relationships in character that will only literally take 2 hours in the world, and thus not really that much time will pass. It's just us talking.
Oh, true.
We'll click off.
besties.
I don't
Stream
remember my
immediately.
parents.
Me neither.
What's my
One
mother's
time,
name?
Well, you
Hey,
should
band
know.
camp.
You have all of your memories back, Cassandra. What are your parents
Ooh.
like?
Do I remember my parents?
Oh yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. You,
You
definitely
merged.
would.
You merged with the old hag.
Were they cool?
I mean, it is your backstory, so I leave that to you. Did you have cool parents, Abby? What type of emotional trauma would you like Cassandra to have?
Oh boy.
What if she just had a good relationship with her parents? Wouldn't that
Will's
be
obsession
wild?
with emotional trauma.
They were both just kind of not terribly exciting, like high school art teachers. Fun, but not too fun.
Mm-hmm. Maybe one of them was.
Ow.
You know, straight up. Yeah, no, that's the vibe. That is the vibe.
There you go.
Your dad had a funny mustache that you thought looked a little corny, but your mom would like pinch his cheek and like, oh, my teddy
Oh
bear.
no, I love them. My great 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 relatives.
Ooh, headcanon. My dad did not want me to marry Ragnaphon. He just got bad vibes. But I said, you can't tell me what to do.
Oh no.
That sounds like Cass. That sounds
Yeah.
right.
We're just making up canon right now, guys. This is primo material. Hope
I
you're
mean,
watching.
to be fair, at this point, that is canon now.
Yeah.
No, that's not even headcanon, Abby. That's canon. It's your character.
Head to
The
canon.
backstory.
Yeah.
I put my head in a cannon.
Here's
Yeah.
Here's a canon fact for y'all. Chip has a crippling macrame addiction.
Mm.
Ooh.
So Lucinda
Mm-hmm.
has at this point now folded like a wet cloth in a very un-Lucinda-like movies. She seemed very flaky so far as you've talked to her, I think. She like takes like a wet cloth, puts some like water onto it, and just puts it onto Malicor's head. And then presses down on it gently, and then just looks towards you, Nimbus. He'll be okay.
You phrased that like a question.
He'll be okay.
I don't believe you.
Ooh, a declarative statement. Wow.
Do you have you ever done this kind of thing before? Do you have any idea how long you might be out? Because the last
Oh,
time
Desna, no,
Resorts-
I've just kind of plucked around in his brain a little bit just now. That's it.
Oh God. Okay.
Do-
Well, see,
are-
now I'm a little concerned because the last time I restored like a very significant piece of someone's personage to them, they also fell unconscious, and I thought, oh, I'm sure this will just be like an afternoon sort of situation, and then it lasted 7 months. So the longer this goes on, the more antsy I am.
You know, some things never change in the family line, do they?
What do you mean?
It's just a general bad habit of, some might say, a fatal flaw of our bloodline.
What? What is a fatal flaw?
That they were kind of worrywarts?
Yes.
How am I a worrywart? You saw what happened to Ascendancy. It was awful.
Yes, that is true.
Who?
Are you familiar with the Alaract family?
No, I don't really. Honestly, I don't really pay attention to families or anything like that. I just prefer to focus on my research.
Formerly very invested in the textile industry, sort of leaders of that pack. More recently, minions of Treladar's more malicious workings, save for their son, Ascendancy, who
Someone say minions.
suffered a bit of a Affliction of the
What type of affliction?
The kind where the majority of your soul is ousted from your body and put in a little tiny jar and stored in the Baba Yaga shelf.
Oh, how interesting.
Very
And then
specific.
we gave it to him, and then
Oh, but you
he-
didn't just give it to him all at once, did you? That would have been a terribly bad idea.
We just kind of
Oh.
assumed. You don't understand. All that was left with him was a very sick obsession with someone who, at the time, did not have his best interest at heart. And
Oh, who's that?
are you familiar with the Gladewinds?
No, not particularly.
Um,
See previous comment.
probably for the best, although these ones I'm a little bit surprised you hadn't had some knowledge of. Not as an, oh, they're an important noble family, but, oh, they're secretly a network of blood hags running Bridehall from the shadows.
Oh yes, Coven
Um,
Hags.
Yes. Wards of the Baba Yaga, formerly. The
Huh.
late Baba Yaga, I
The-
suppose.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, small world.
Well, I'm sure you dealt with her as like a recompense. And no Saint Altair usually lets a wrongdoer such as that live to tell the tale.
I certainly gave her what she had coming to her. And then some. It's okay. She also was suffering under the same affliction, so it's a little bit more complicated than, maybe I'm making it seem. But regardless, we did give him all of his, soul back to him at the same time, because the way he was behaving
That was a terrible idea.
We didn't. How would we?
Hindsight
What
is
was the
20
alternative? Are we supposed to just give him a
20.
little sip at a time?
Yes. You're meant to wean them back onto their soul.
Meanwhile,
Like
they
a
were sleeping in
baby?
the streets and they weren't bathing for want of just.
That's why you
sitting in-
tie them down.
You see, that sounds worse somehow.
Strap them to a table, slowly drip it into their body, and you're fine.
I don't like that.
Do you see how that's maybe not like an idea that would just naturally pop into somebody's head?
Yes, but you could have, gone to your local library and looked up a book on it, I'm sure.
Are there books on such things?
Cassandra, are there books on such things?
On like
Let
forbidden
me check.
hag magic.
forbidden hag magic.
Secrets of the dark arts that have been forbidden from mortal knowledge for millennia. That doesn't seem like the kind of thing that would just be sitting around in a public library.
Cassandra, would you like to make a library lore check?
For old
38.
time's sake.
Way ahead of you.
Actually,
that's not
Cassandra,
very
there
good.
are, now that you're thinking of it, there are a few books of, like, the theory of magic relating to souls that come to mind.
Come, step into the library with me. Shoom.
I will stand outside like a bouncer.
I'll go grab
Yeah.
some of the books, like, boop, 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 boop. And then maybe look for a couple more in the area.
You end up finding, like, 3.
I take all 3 and give them to Nim. Here you go, some light reading. Bonk.
Well,
Bit of
the
light
issue with these is
reading.
that they're all theoretical. They're not. I mean, it's not a cohesive fact about how these things are dealt with.
I mean, that's very fair. Although now, based on what you've told us, these books are now no longer theoretical. There's been a proven application.
That's true. I will have to cross-reference what is written here with what I have experienced personally. Perhaps make some addendums. For example, Alessandra made a sort of eidolon out of the piece of her soul we retrieved, and introduced herself to it.
Slowly, over time.
Yes.
Hmm.
In fairness, that seemed to be more of a I'm afraid of the person I might be when I don't know who that person is and I'm used to being this person. So it was. It had as much to do with her apprehension about the whole thing as it did with anything else. Carl, did she ever tell you about any of this?
Excuse me.
Not really. I kind of picked up on little bits here and there from scattered conversations, but also I was still having a lot of trouble remembering things then, and I also didn't understand it, and I don't know, it seemed like personal.
Yes, I suppose that is about as personal an issue can possibly get. But, you don't think
Uh,
this is like that, do you? With
No,
Malfoy?
needless to say, I'm weaning the memories in a few scenes at a time, so to speak.
Okay, because it kind of seemed like it hit him all at once.
Well, the spell hit him all at once. So imagine this, Nimbus, if you will. All right. Right now, Malico's mind is a door. Okay. So you have that lovely door. Maybe it's mahogany, whatever type of door you'd like.
So true.
And every so often, right now, there's a whole bunch of things knocking on that door, waiting to get in. Right. And every time Malico opens the door, one of those get in, but it closes the door behind it so others don't rush in immediately after. Thusly, the mind of Malico is slowly being reintroduced to whatever memories were there, as well as being restitched together with the current memories in order to maintain the personality that's formed. Some might call this the Many Minds of Maligore, if they were going to make, say, a one-shot special of it at some point.
Oh, what's a one-shot special?
Wait, does someone
I
do
don't know.
foreshadowing? What?
I don't know.
What's that coming over the hill?
Well, I guess the Many Memories of Malico would be better. But essentially, I've put a stop on the door so that everything rushes in and won't take Malico out for months.
Okay.
Oh,
I know what I'm
Did it
doing.
have- You're right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to imply that you didn't.
It is fine. I understand. Worrywart is very common in our family.
Well, you don't seem to be a worrywart. My mother was never a worrywart. Not really my father either. They both kind of
the fighter.
either. I wanted to
Oh,
say
your mother.
either. But then
Your mother was a worrywart in her younger years.
Oh.
was she really?
Yes, a little bit. Myself, perhaps I was, but once you've reached a certain age, you tend to not care about mortality anymore.
Mm.
That's so
That's true.
strange. She's always been so composed. And father
Uh,
too, very stoic.
Lucinda smiles at that. I think if you got to know your parents when they were younger, you would be pleasantly surprised.
Eyes emoji.
Carl,
Yes'm?
do you think we could do that thing you were talking about the other night?
Oh, you wanted to take a look at your parents when they were younger?
Maybe some of your memories?
I mean,
If
if
that's
we're
okay.
if we're just gonna sit here and look after your little brother, sure.
If I may, Nimbus, this may take a little bit of time. I'm sure you all have things to take care of in regards to Charladar's current push on the world.
Well, yes, but I want to be here when he wakes up.
Fair enough. Then I will leave you to your own devices, so to speak.
Okay.
And Lucinda basically goes and sits down and takes out a book and starts writing. It looks like she is observing Malicor
Mhm.
and just like writing, oh, physical reaction to the spell like such. Da, 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 da. If Nimbus peeks over her shoulder, you just see interesting reaction.
Interesting
uns-
reaction.
Unexpected, though within the realm of possibility.
Oh, so cold.
She's a researcher.
But yeah, Nim will put a hand to Garl's temple and do the join pasts.
Oh, you do notice Garl had like her little dirk out ready to like cut her palms. Like, oh, it doesn't require blood or something.
What? What? No, wait, what?
Oh wait, who said that? Never
Why would
mind.
you? What? You've seen me do this with
What?
Cassandra.
Oh, is that what you were
probably half a
doing?
dozen times.
I thought you guys were just having a moment.
I mean, sort of. But it's a here, you'll understand.
Okay.
All you have to do is think the thoughts.
Meow, meow,
Roll
meow,
me,
meow,
roll me
meow,
a
meow, meow.
D100, Nim.
Oh my.
Nim gets to roll.
Yeah, I want to see what memory you get.
You have them written down? That's a 20.
I have them on a chart.
Cassandra and Garl in a room slowly strap the
Wow.
Oh, what?
Oh, what? Oh,
Funny.
what did you just say?
Oh my
I don't
god.
Please
Anyway.
repeat yourself.
Interesting.
Interesting reaction.
roll that D100. Maybe I will.
I rolled a nat 20.
I knocked myself over.
That actually doesn't mean anything on a D100.
And hey, a nat 20 is a nat 20.
So, Nimbus. The memory that you get to view is that of what looks to be your parents' first date.
Oh.
As Garl was asked to chaperone them as they were going out on the town. It
What
starts off,
town?
it would have been the capital of Trelladar,
Gotcha.
Ooh.
which at the time, because depending on where the Archmage is, the capital changes.
Right.
So at the time, that would have been Evotus.
Gotcha.
So it begins with them sort of like walking down the street. Many people are making room for them. It's like, oh my god, it's them. It's part of the. Oh, this one's dealing with the demons. Oh, there's just like hushed like whispers of like, oh, that's so fancy. Da da da. Your mother, absolutely sheepishly looking at all the attention. Your father, kind of soaking it in a bit, being like, yes, we are awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Eventually, you get to this restaurant where like Garl's been like trying to stealthily hide, but they both know Garl's not hide. They both know that Garl can. Like they know Garl's following them. So they dip into a restaurant where they're seated. Some bread is brought out. And, there's some nice dinner conversation. They both go to reach for a piece of bread and their hands overlap each other, and there's some blushing and some giggling. Then the meals are brought out. This sort of restaurant's a family-style serving thing, so there's just like,
Tapas.
yeah,
Fantasy Buca de Beppo.
Stop.
I have no idea
In a
what
world where the
Buca de Beppo
Buka
is.
family exists, that's especially funny.
But, courses are served family-style to them, and they're like dishing them out to each other and conversating, and then like a plate of spaghetti is brought out, and they're both like eating the spaghetti.
Fantasy Buca de Beppo.
And the dinner continues. Then after the dinner, your father walks outside and casts a little spell on you and on him and his date, your mother, and the two of them start to fly off into the sky.
And Garl just.
Garl says "fuck" and starts sprinting. Garl at one point does burst through someone's house, interrupting like a
Just
dinner.
the fucking Kool-Aid man through both walls.
Throws a handful of gold at them. Sorry.
Garl insurance.
just through it. It's very funny because they run so fast that the dinner table, the cloth on the dinner table gets caught on one of Garl's swords, and it just yoinks, and all the dishes stay there.
God, that would be loud. Crash, crash,
Truly
crash.
delightful.
And then eventually they like land in this like little gazebo area, and the two of them are just kind of like holding hands and chatting, and then that's the entire memory because it just goes through the night, and then as the sun rises, the two of them say, "Oh, we should probably head back to the domes." And then you see them heading back to one of those doors. Like they take a key out that Rosemine gave you. You see them open up a door to Abjuris, where
Now
the
Garl has to run all the way back.
no
Oh, Garl's
Garl,
also.
Garl had a key as well.
The girl's like
Yeah.
looking over a hedge, like, no goodnight kiss.
They head back to their dorms in Abdris, and they continue. They just go about their business from there. That's what you get.
That is a sweet thing to get. You
It's
pull
got-
away from Nimbus and open your eyes again, and you see that she is pretty misty-eyed. She's blinking away some tears.
They were in love.
I don't know exactly how this works. Would I have been seeing all that, or was I just sitting there with Nim like smiling, closing her eyes, hand to my head, like, how long are we
Um,
gonna do this?
Well, let me read some of the spell to you. When with touches to the target's forehead, you bring them into mental communication. The target can share thoughts and experiences, but not words. This is mainly for recall knowledge checks. I use it for roleplay because that's who I am as a person and as a player, and
enough.
I refuse to change.
Do I ever stop you?
You can't. You couldn't if you wanted to.
No.
And the best part is nobody can stop me.
Evil cackle intensifies.
Nobody can stop me.
But you are just sharing a memory, and you could take as long or as short a time. As
Okay, so I have
you
to
want
sort of be recalling it specifically to shave it. I have to bring up the file folder to show it to you.
Yes, but theoretically, this could be done in a single action. So 2 seconds. You could spend longer if you wanted to. For reference, in the past, Ray imparted her entire backstory onto Nim in a single action. Nim's still processing that. It was bad. It's a doozy.
Oh, a core memory.
Oh, what's this? A core memory. We're gonna.
Nope.
Just like that.
I'm gonna
Put
throw
that one
it.
right in the vault.
The Nimbus Vault.
But you could theoretically take longer. But that is an important distinction that like words are not shared, but ideas and experiences are. So that's kind of how that spell works, just in case anyone was curious.
Nice.
But yeah.
But yeah, that's what you get from that one.
Sorry. Thank you, Garl.
Garl reaches out and gives Nim a big Garl hug.
Oh,
Wow.
thank you, Garl. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Garl.
Girl breaks your spine in two.
It was immediately paralyzed.
It's like a stack of crackers. It would be so easy.
You're not wrong. If you see this girl, girl's a toothpick.
You just hear Garl whisper into Nim's ear.
I
"I'm
could
sorry,
kill you right
Nimbus.
now.
Long live the king.
Just like that.
Long live Trelador."
Oh god.
Yeah. Hail Hydra.
Oh
Yeah.
god. I'm good to just wait around a little bit.
I mean, oh god, it occurs to me. Did we ever establish that there's like no programming left beyond the shutdown phrase?
Oh no.
Oh god.
Lucinda.
Did you want more programming?
Like, what if there was a thing like that your parents like, Garl, we need some alone time. Go pick some flowers. Garl will now go pick flowers.
Oh no, Lucinda
Garl will
pipes up.
remember that.
It was go punch a tree.
No, that's fair.
Oh, is that why you do that?
McKenna!
We went almost a week without Garl having an existential crisis about whether she is a person or a collection of memories and commands.
Collection of commands, yeah.
Wait, Lucinda, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell Garl that was her thing before it was
Deception check, Lucinda. Or I don't know.
Lucinda just smiles at you, Nimbus. Now, Nimbus, I know you don't like it when people lie.
Oh no! Oh, Garl, I'm sorry. I should have kept my mouth shut.
But Garl,
I
in
mean,
all
I
seriousness,
asked.
you
I
did
asked.
punch tree. You did like to beat on trees and train on trees long before they made the sort of the. It wasn't really a programming thing either. It was just like the sort of like phrase they would use when they wanted you to give them some alone time. You didn't really pick up on social cues all that well.
Were they really fast? At least I feel like I could catch them.
And that is why they gave you those common terms so that you could understand things.
Carl, you're precious. Please never change.
I mean, we're working on that. Cassandra, would you mind?
Sure.
There we go.
Yes,
Backed up.
dear.
Backed up.
Wait, Cassandra, now that you have your memories back, why is Lucinda my age? I'm sorry, it's not that it
I
bothers me, but it
recall.
does kind of...
We said we were gonna drag this storyline out. We weren't
That's
kidding.
fair. So Lucinda, specifically, remember Abby, that the time that was being held by her memories, essentially Lucinda was holding on to your memories, right? And all the time that those memories existed were basically creating a buffer of time for her. Essentially, while she was keeping track of you, keeping hold of your memories for you, she was immortal.
Oh, but you can age now?
I mean, I could. You're not the only person You're not the only memories I'm holding on to, Cassandra.
Fair enough.
I have some of our Naris. I have a whole bunch of Nimbus's mothers right now.
Yes.
Don't suppose you have any of Lynx's?
Aw.
I don't think I've ever met Lynx. Hello, Lynx.
Hello, Lucinda.
I don't have any ill memories, do I? I haven't. Believe it or
Oh.
not, for someone who is very well versed in memory magic, terrible memory when it comes to things. That's why I write everything down.
I understand. That's why I have a book that I keep
Yes.
all of my shit in.
Oh, I do that too.
You have a book?
No, I have a journal.
What did Arinari want to not remember?
Points to Cassandra.
I figured.
Well, I guess it was worth asking. I worry about
Do you
him.
have any of Ragnathon's memories?
No, he never let me come anywhere near him.
Fair enough. Do you have anybody else's memories of Ragnathon? Specifically anything embarrassing?
I mean, I had yours.
Nobody else's?
What
Yeah,
embarrassing
just-
things did you see him do, Cassandra? I'm sure there must have been something. You
Oh.
were married.
Oh, let me tell you. Let me tell you. He thought ketchup was spicy.
He looks like the type who would. He looks like the type.
This
Lynx
is why.
just keeps his little mouth shut.
This is why I'm not a religious person.
Because ketchup is spicy?
No, because a guy who claims he's now a god once thought that ketchup was spicy.
Ah, okay.
Well,
His favorite
Desi
color
would
was
never say that
beige.
ketchup is spicy. His favorite color was beige.
Beige. He was a
Beige
big Ray
Khaki
Dunn
wearing
fan.
Fuck.
Oh no.
Fantasy Ray Dunn.
Oh no. Not Fantasy Ray Dunn. She's so tacky. I mean,
You
it's one
should
thing if
have
you're a
seen the
total
living room.
suburbanite, and that's like the nicest kind of dinnerware you can afford. But I mean,
He had a custom-made briefcase that said briefcase on it
Oh, wait, I've got
in
one.
beige.
I've got one.
Yes.
He really enjoyed jungle, or some might say rainforest themed restaurants, unironically.
Unbelievable. I would never.
I would.
I mean,
True.
are there live toucans?
Tuckins.
It's
no,
just
but there are
there's
live fish sometimes, and they're nice to look at. Merle likes to watch them swim around.
only in the good ones.
Only in the good ones.
But yes. After about another 6 hours,
Woo.
Malachor starts to stir a little bit. Oh, what the fuck was that?
Hey, buddy.
Did I just swear?
Yeah,
Oh.
you sure did.
And then
That
listen,
is-
just like,
that is the
yes,
first time
I
I've sworn.
hope you don't mind. I kind of took out some of the things your father had me put in. Yeah. Anyway,
Can you
Say
can you
fuck.
refer
Say
to
fuck.
your dad real quick, Malachor? I'm trying to see something.
What, Papa?
Damn. Okay.
That might be more of a force of habit than anything else.
We can work on that one together.
I mean, he'll always be Papa.
I'm glad that you think that now. How do you feel?
Yeah.
Have you? Well, actually, now that I have these memories back, I feel like I've been impaled by a spear jutting out of a statue's elbow.
Oh, I can't relate to that. That's never happened to me.
He's just looking at you, Lynx, as he says this.
Yeah, that's never happened to me. I don't know who you think you're talking to, but
Can't relate.
it's not someone who's been impaled by a spear before. That's never happened to me.
Okay, Lynx. Maybe someone has some of your memories, but it's not you.
I like that we keep referencing that, and it happened in the first
The first episode.
It was iconic.
It was.
was.
Iconic.
The guy with the ruined diver pass got fucking one shot.
It was great.
Okay, well, besides the, as fun as it is to make fun of Lynx, how are you actually feeling?
I do legitimately feel like I've just been impaled by a spear.
Is there
Like
anything
my
I can
head
help
is.
with? Maybe a regenerate or a healing spell? Would anything like that
I
help?
mean-
Maybe a glass of water?
I mean, like a painkiller if you have one.
Oh, Garo reaches into her kind of pack and pulls out like a little water skin and offers it here.
Making direct eye contact with Garl the entire time.
Garl just smiles. It is like I don't know, like really primitive scotch.
And spit take.
Oh, Garl, what did you give him? That smells like rubbing alcohol.
Holy.
I mean, it does good things for headaches.
Lynx
Well, for whose
takes a look at the
headaches?
flask.
Well, it's more of a water skin.
Or water skin, excuse me. As soon as you said scotch, I really just pictured a flask, like Titanic flask. Lynx takes a little swig from the water skin and goes, yeah, that is good for headaches.
And if you got like a cut in your mouth.
But not good for.
Not good for babies, I agree.
I mean,
I don't know how to refer to you, Malachor. You look like a full-grown adult, but I still want to protect you as if you were a baby. I'm sorry.
I mean,
know
I
that's
am,
infantilizing,
Nimbus, I am your little brother. I understand.
but- Okay.
Let's be entirely honest. If I would have had a normal sort of childhood growing up sort of deal, you would have been doing the same thing regardless.
That's true.
He's got you
I
pegged.
have this.
I have half of her. I have her memories in my own brain.
Well, here, have this.
Which-
This is fresh water and not homemade scotch.
And like as
I,
he's
I
drinking
didn't
it,
make it. I found it somewhere.
That's worse, Carl.
That's
It
worse.
is,
That
it
is
is worse. I
worse.
realized as soon as I said it, I realized that's worse.
and like I don't even want to begin the sort of questions that this brings up of like, hey, if memories make a person, am I who I am meant to be now in this situation, or am I meant to be someone else? There's a whole bunch of existential dread I'm dealing with. Glug 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 glug.
I mean, if two people read the same book, they can have different interpretations.
And I'm kind of just putting that all off until everything is dealt with.
Okay. Everything in terms of like the geopolitical nightmare that we're living in right now?
Yes.
Or okay. Okay, that could take some time.
Oh, I have a question for Lucinda. I don't suppose you could do a quick search of my memories for any sort of triggers that Ragnaphon might have put in before, everything went down.
Oh, he's controlling. He hasn't done anything like that to you.
Okay. He just seemed very insistent that I would be returning to his side when he came back.
I think, to be entirely honest with you, he's one of those men who believe that their partner is their property.
Yeah, no, that tracks.
Yeah.
Ooh.
How did you?
He picked out my wedding dress, actually.
Yes.
Oh,
Hate that.
hate that.
Yeah.
How did you? How did you two meet?
Well, we met in the meeting way.
Some of
God.
Corellia's
School.
memories are still fuzzy, as you can see. They'll return to
I
her
think we met in
as
school. Something
Yeah.
like that.
Did you meet in the broom closet at school? Is that what happened?
I think actually in the library.
Yes.
Oh,
He was a magical mathlete.
He was reading, and then you kind of forgot about the rest of his personality because you were so dazzled by his book learning ability.
He was initially very charming until the engagement happened, and then status and everything, and breaking off the wedding wasn't really an option. And I was just,
I mean,
I
to
thought it
be
was just,
fair,
pressure of the wedding planning.
I mean, I
Um,
wouldn't say to be fair, but Corellia, you do need to keep in mind that you were essentially marrying into nobility.
That too.
Behind Cassandra, where Garl is standing, the rest of you guys can all see Garl slowly more scowling and scowling.
yeah.
How does one commit deicide?
Oh,
Tune in for the level 20 arc to find out.
Jesus.
Okay, well, I guess my only other question for you right now, Malachor, is what do you want to do in the next, say, 12 hours in terms of where you'd like to stay, what you'd like to do with your time?
I was just going to kind of mill about somewhere. Lucinda's just like, if you'd like, Malachor, you can stay with me. No one will come bother looking for you here. It's like, sounds good to me. If you'll have me, yes. I'd love to speak to you a little bit about the process that you went through. I would like to take some notes. Sure, I suppose.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Please, for the love of all that's good, give him a proper room.
Oh yes, I have a.
With a bed? and
Yes,
a
I
stove?
have. The tent's the entrance to my Well, she just like opens up the tent and you see inside a very Nimbus-like mansion.
Oh,
Good.
okay, okay.
Nimbus goes, oh, excellent. I was considering offering to make a mansion, but I thought that might be a little bit too conspicuous. They're 4 stories tall.
Yes, no, this is a version of the spell that I've created. You can just make the entrance.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, if he's getting his own new place now, it's his first place as a young man. Garl's gonna reach into her bag and pull out a very crudely carved little wooden horse. Like,
Oh.
here, a gift for your new place.
Thank you, God.
I'm gonna step inside and pull Malachor to the side and just sort of say, I have one more question for you, actually, and you don't need to answer me immediately or at all. Might just be a hypothetical, but if you had the opportunity to undo the chronomancy set upon you by the Archmage, is that something you would be interested in?
I don't know. That's something that's I've already been thinking about, Nimbus.
Okay.
It's a very big question.
It is.
Because, like, I kind of have this life right now. And would I remember it if I did revert? Would I be, like, some sort of... would I have... If I did revert, would I retain the memories? Would I need to have those memories taken away from me?
I
You know,
don't
there's a
know.
whole set of questions for it that... Just, like, from a sense of, like, magical ethics, regular ethics.
I think just in by
Like
the
if I were to revert to my younger self, but maintained all of my memories, would I ever be able to actually be with anyone my own age because they're so much younger than me? Things like that.
Yes, I mean, for all intents and purposes, I think your timeline was sped up, so it's not entirely as if, you know, you are 3 months old. It's just that's sort of how it feels to the people who know. And I have to imagine if you were to reverse this predicament.
I mean, in a few days will
don't
be
think
4
you're-
months.
I don't think a child's mind could process memories like that. Although I have to imagine as you grew up, you may sort of get them back as you go. At least that's my hypothesis.
There's a lot of like unanswered things in there.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. I think
That make me
mostly-
hesitant at this time.
I think mostly the reason I think it is such a tragedy is that we only have so many years on this planet, and having 20 of them stolen from you is a terrible thing in its own right, let alone those most formative years where you get to be a child, and be able to make decisions for yourself. And
No, I mean, if the way our papa treated me when I was a young adult had anything to do with it, I don't think I'd be much of a child when I was growing up with them. But
even
I
even
understand.
with me, it was
I understand the sentiment, Nimbus, but it's a very large question. It's sort of like
of
the
course.
if you had a second chance at your life, would you take it? And like post-war, like what situation is our family going to be in?
Well, I mean, regardless of what happens with my family, so long as I am alive, I would take care of you.
Okay, but I wouldn't want to be a burden onto you. You have
You wouldn't
way
be a
more
burden.
important things to
You
do.
wouldn't be a burden. You would never be a burden. I mean, that's. I want to be very clear about that. If your concern is that you might not be able to rely on mother and father, that's not.
I don't know if
That is
mother and
not a
father. I
concern.
don't know if they will be here.
Right. I don't either.
I mean, if I'm being entirely honest, if they have a run-in with you, they're very likely to be killed.
I don't have any intention yet of jumping to that extreme. I think with Mother, I have a key to a lot of her memories, and if unlocking them can make her see reason, then I don't think that will be necessary. And with Father, it's a little bit more complicated. I have another hypothesis for that. I have a theory that perhaps you have not met our father in his own form. Are you familiar with the story of Desna and the Huntress?
And no, Papa kept all religion out of the house other than Lord Light.
Would you like me to tell it to you? It's a little bit scary.
Nimbus, I'm an adult.
Okay. Are you sure?
Nimbus.
Okay.
Well, and Nim launches into the whole Desna and the Huntress thing. I won't repeat it because I've already gone into it on the stream.
As you like get into like a part that you Nimbus would think was scary, do you play it up at all?
I think in like a spooky children's story kind of way, not in a genuinely I'm trying to scare him sort of way.
Yeah. As you're playing it up, Malachor just has this look of like really Nimbus on his face, like the
What? This is a formative story.
No,
for
go
me.
ahead.
It's very important. Okay, I get that look of whatever it is off of your face, and pay attention to the themes of the story because it is very important and very relevant to our family crisis at the moment.
The
So,
themes,
anyway.
she says.
It is.
So, the moral of the story here, or at least what we can take away from it that is relevant to our current situation, is that Celestials can possess human beings, humanoids in general. And if you were wondering if, like, oh, maybe that's just an old wives' tale, these are old myths, maybe passed down the line, perhaps the Huntress was actually demonic in nature, not in fact celestial, I have seen it with my own eyes, a celestial possession in Megdia. That is, if you were familiar with General Sterling Block, the late General Sterling Block.
Yes. I believe they burned to death via acid.
I wanted to attempt to take out the celestial that they had with them first, but for some reason they both just kept targeting me over and over and over again instead of targeting anyone else in the party. It was very strange, so I was unconscious at the time. So...
All right, adding 200 hit points to the next boss.
That's fair, as long as it doesn't target me over and over.
And what's this? It can only target Nimbus with some abilities now.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Sounds about right. But anyway, we didn't have the opportunity to kind of get him alone and maybe, I don't know, perform some sort of anti-exorcism, but Steel Block described a lot of what we've been seeing with Father, with his own father, that he was previously a very reasonable man and a good father, and then suddenly he was messing with things he shouldn't have been, and he was a different person, and while you've only known our father one way, that is a tale that is very familiar to me. I mean, the fact that you have not known Desna in your household is very, very strange, because both mother and father, at least used to be, quite devout followers. So that is just something to consider. I think if we have a confrontation with him, I personally have a number of spells that target the puppeteer, so to speak, rather than the puppet itself. For mechanical reference, Spirit Blast. And I can hopefully take care of it that way without hurting him. Granted, I don't know, obviously, how much of his behavior is his and how much is the Celestials. Obviously, I want to believe that he's not at fault and that he's being controlled, and wouldn't it be lovely if things were that black and white? But,
Wouldn't it be lovely?
we'll see. Regardless, I will see to it that you are safe and you are taken care of, regardless of what choice you make in this matter. That's a promise.
All right.
All right. Get some rest. Eat some good food. Maybe draw some pictures or play with some,
Nimbus.
you know,
Nimbus.
I don't know, just do some things that are fun
Sister.
instead of training and studying.
I think I might go read.
You might go what?
Read.
Okay, as long as it's maybe like a fun fictional book and not, I don't know, arithmetic? What has he had you reading this whole time anyway? I mean, arithmetic is fine if it's fun for you, but
Have you ever heard of Twilight?
I just want you to do things because they spark joy for you.
And
Not
there's
because you feel like you are obligated to engage with them.
there's a set of small novels that have always taken my eye in bookstores when I've seen them about a professor of sorts who would solve crimes. I think I'm going to go dig into that series a bit.
I am very familiar with those books, and you are in for a wonderful ride.
Still in print.
But we have archmages to attend to in various forms. So, you know, shoot me a sending if you need anything. I have a key so I can be back and forth whenever you need.
Will do,
Can I give you a hug?
if you'd like.
If you'd like.
I mean, go ahead.
Okay. Nim gives him a big hug.
As you're hugging him, it's like, someone could easily stab you in the back during moments like these.
Nim kind of. Why would you say that?
It's a defensive thing. Like, it would just be like a shock.
Hand over the
Are you
vorpal
going to
dagger.
stab? Are you going to stab me in the back right now?
No, but like
Okay.
someone else.
She brings him into a hug again. Does he hug back?
After a short moment, he does.
Okay.
He's probably not used to it. He needs some time to work up to it.
Yeah, he needs to like figure it out.
He's figuring it out.
Putting it together.
Putting it together.
Putting it together, bit by bit.
What is this feeling? So sudden,
So
and new.
God damn it.
All right. I will leave him be.
That song goes in every different direction.
Such a good song. You're tempting me, Matthew. I've got the green background. I could do the whole alphabet bit. I could change the background
hate it
from
here.
green to pink and do
Yeah.
both bits.
Chad, here's something important to know
Alfie.
about me. I'm an enabler.
That is an enabler.
That is true.
But speaking of enablers, party.
Party.
What would y'all like to do next?
All right. I believe we have a date with
Destiny.
Oh gosh.
Bed?
Was it Percival Ventrale?
Yes, I think it was personal.
The Abjuration Archmage, who you have
think that
implied
is
has
okay.
done something wonderful for the Opal Empire, so I'm very excited to meet him.
Maybe the Empire wasn't destroyed and he saved it in like a jar.
Maybe. Maybe.
He is in Abjurus.
Yes, he is, and we have a key to Abjuris. So, are we all ready to go?
Yes.
Garl, Lynx?
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I think so.
Thank you very much, Nana. It was lovely catching up.
It was nice to finally meet you as the person you've become, Nimbus.
No.
Okay,
True.
well, hopefully I'll be back soon.
Mhm.
And,
I look forward to seeing what you accomplish.
thank you.
Correct opinion juice.
All right. Let's go.
Right?
Take care of yourself.
Nim kind of flourishes the key in the air, not really having ever used it before.
So, as a reminder, you do need a physical door to use this key.
Interesting.
Oh,
So,
I can
Nimbus
go
pulls
get
out the
one.
key, flourishes it in the air. Like, Nimbus, you do know how that item works, right?
Really explained it to me. They just sort of gave it to me and said, "Oh, you with this you can open a key to anywhere in Trilidar." And I was
You
like,
need a
"Okay."
physical door.
Will
Yeah.
the front flaps of the tent work?
No, but I can conjure one up for you inside.
Okay. Then that is what we will do.
All right. She kind of chuckles. It's like,
Well, okay, it's not that strange of an assumption. It's actually quite an oversight. If you were, say, stranded somewhere outdoors and you didn't have a door, that would be
Such she is.
quite an issue.
what if we were out in the wilderness, but there were trees, and we chopped up trees and made a door? Would that still work, or does it have to be
Perhaps,
like an
but in
old
that
door?
situation, you'd need an axe. You'd need a doorknob somehow. Like you'd need all
Well,
sorts
what
of
if it
tools
just
for that,
has one
and
of
if you were
those
just-
like handles your hand goes in? You just like a sliding door.
But then wouldn't you need to create a sliding door frame for that? That seems. And what about nails?
You do.
Wouldn't you need nails and screws and all sorts of other construction accoutrement?
No, I'm getting a headache.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
you are all really overthinking the mechanics of what should be a very simple magical item.
It is not simple. It's a teleportation device between the entire country. That is far from simple.
Why don't we sit down and talk about it for 35 minutes?
Yes.
The door.
The door.
The door!
Hello, puppy. Sorry, I'm getting distracted.
When the god of light
by the
closes all
sweet
windows, we find a door.
boy.
It happens.
The adventurer's greatest enemy, doors. So, you go into Lucinda's mansion. She conjures up a door for you to use. You insert the key for address. You turn it, and opening up into what appears to be a back alley of sorts.
Is this it?
Yes, that's it. You just walk through and you're there.
I guess.
Hmm.
Is there anything we need to know about Abjuris?
The biggest building is the Archmages?
Okay.
Second
So-
biggest building.
Second biggest. Okay.
Yes, the biggest building is the old Magic Academy. That's kind of been turned into a military training school now, though.
Oh, bad. Okay. Well, is there any particular customs that we're going to stand out if we don't follow?
I mean, you know, just don't stick out like a sore thumb, I guess. I haven't been in a city in so long.
Fair enough. All right. Well, wish us luck. And Nim steps through.
As you all step through, Nimbus, the door closes behind you, the key pops out onto the ground, you just pick it up.
All right. All right. Let's look for the second tallest building. Shouldn't be too difficult. And I will
Perception check?
send Merle right on up.
Oh,
Yeah.
that works too.
After a few minutes of searching, Myrtle can find it. It's a sort of gated off mansion.
Mm,
The gate itself isn't anything too special. It's not even closed, it's open, it's just there. It's sort of decorative. And yeah, it's about 3 blocks south of you. You could get there in a few moments if you walked.
Okay. Do you think we just go up and knock? I mean, Percival doesn't seem especially hostile from what we've heard. What do you guys think?
I will follow your lead.
Yeah, I'm a little out of my depth here.
I don't truly see too many options other than kind of the easiest one.
Sometimes the best plans are the simplest ones, and Nimbus walks off.
All right.
I am constantly using my constant true sight, just scanning the area, looking for anyone that is both looking at us and might be hiding under some sort of illusion or invisibility, just keeping an eye out.
True sight only reveal people under that.
I believe it sees through any sort of illusion.
There's a lot of illusionary cover-ups of different wards and things throughout the city, as you notice. It looks as though there's a number of roof wards that you can see that would prevent aerial strikes. There appear to be wards set in the streets that are inactive right now.
I mean,
That if they were
abjuration.
to activate, they would create blocks. They would block paths and such. It looks like this is a very secure city.
I see.
Yeah, and eventually you come towards a mansion. It's very plain, very simple. The gate, Garl, has 2 wards on either side. Both appear to be active right now.
I point that out.
With Detect Magic and Read Aura, would I know what those words do?
Yes, they are essentially. Oh, I've forgotten the word. Intent wards. There we go. They, as you pass through them, if you have any sort of hostile intent towards the people who set up the ward, it blocks you from entry.
Wow.
Assuming Percival is the one who set them up, we should be fine. Assuming Percival is the one who set them up. He is the Archmage of Abjuration, so that would make sense. But, well, I suppose the only way to find out is to go through.
Yeah.
She does.
Yeah, Nimbus, you go through without a problem.
Okay. All right.
Who's next?
I will go last.
Okay.
I'll go right before girl.
Okay.
Lynx starts to
Process
think.
elimination.
Lynx starts to think of the scotch that Garl made, and starts to think about how he would recreate it as a recipe, and starts walking through.
Lynx goes through.
Quick, remind me, how do we need to get through this? I was wrangling a puppy with a death
You
wish.
just gotta walk, but if you have like ill will towards the person who cast the abjuration ward, it'll do something.
Who cast the ward?
We are presuming that Percival Van Thrail, the Abjuration Archmage, is the one who cast this, as this is his mansion, and he is sort of the guy who does Abjuration. And so far, the two of us who have passed through have had no harmful intent towards him, and have gotten through okay.
I just concentrate on how much I love Garl, and I walk through.
Aw.
Yay.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yay.
See, Gara was going to do a thing where she remembered the first time she saw Cassandra.
Aw.
Yay.
Because that would certainly consume her thoughts and attempts to walk through.
Yay. Anyway.
All right. You make it through.
Huzzah.
As you all make your way down basically the path, eventually you come towards the doors, also warded. However, this one is warded with a alarm spell, not like a Biba, like not like a weo alarm, like a house alarm, like a doorbell alarm spell.
Gotcha.
Okay, this is a sitting room. This will let me know when people come in, and based on the ward, as you're looking at it, when specific people enter, it also lets him know.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Wow.
Can we tell which specific people it had in mind?
If you want, you can attempt an Arcana check.
Hell yeah. I'm curious. I'm a little nosy.
Oh, she's nosy.
Curious and nosy.
No idea.
34, yeah. Oof.
No idea. Yeah. Who's heading in first?
Well, I mean, if we're just keeping the marching order, I'll go in.
All right. Yeah, keeping that same marching order. Nimbus enters without issue. Lynx enters without issue. Cassandra enters without issue. And when Garl enters, there is a visible bebop. And
We were.
suddenly, Garl finds himself wrapped in light. Make me a reflex save, Garl.
I didn't take anything this time, I promise.
Please, my lord.
32?
Unfortunately, that's a failure. Garl, you are grappled and restrained.
And not in a recreational way.
Wink, wink.
You are essentially hogtied.
Wink,
That's a
wink.
little insulting, but okay.
Oh, that's a
And
little
then the
bit
door
much.
closes behind you and locks.
Oh.
Am I gagged or can I go,
No, you can
guys,
still talk. It's all good.
guys, go on ahead. I'll be okay.
Hello.
Probably.
I mean, I think we're supposed to wait here for him to receive us, but, that is a little unorthodox.
Can I try to like rip the grapples off of Garl?
Yeah, they're made of like arcane like runes. It's like arcane runic rope. It's like as you go to pull it off, there's like little sizzling on your hands.
Sizzling.
Well, now I don't like that.
I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for this. Maybe.
As you say that, Nimbus, I'll describe the sitting room to you. There is what appears to be like a small couch and a table, as well as a stairway up to what looks to be a second floor, and then there's a set of double doors beside that table that would lead deeper into the house. As you say, there's a reasonable explanation for this. The two double doors burst open, and running out is this disheveled man
You love that.
who just puts his hands on the banister and says, "I gotcha."
You did, yes.
I
Good job.
finally, I got you, Garl. I finally got you with Ward.
Aw.
Carl has lost a
Aw.
significant portion of her memories and is very confused.
I mean, in general, yes.
Is
To
this a normal greeting for the two of you?
To describe the man now a little bit in more detail. Standing before you is a very older gentleman. He has his hair sort of slicked back and it's silver and white. And it's tied up into a neat little man bun behind his head. He has like a set of robes, but they have like a collar on them. And the collar's like up, half down. It looks like he's been working through the night. There are like dark circles under his eyes, and then dark circles under those dark circles.
I respect
And
it.
just as you see basically him running in, you can see with both of his hands on the banister, effectively one of them still has like a coffee cup in hand. Drinks it, just throws it, and as he throws it, right before it hits the ground, the coffee cup has a ward on it. It gets corrected and just gently placed on the ground.
That's kind of dope, actually.
Agree.
Practical use of magic is always fun.
Yeah.
May I gently suggest that you undo the wards on Garl before she gets very, very angry?
Oh.
We come in.
I
Yes.
mean-
Sorry. I've never actually managed to get Garl with one of these before. You see, in training, Garl was always like, "Oh no, the ward's never going to be able to stop me. You're not going to be. I can always break out of them." Da, 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 da. Gotcha.
Challenge
Gotcha.
accepted?
I'll take a
Do
step
you
back.
want?
Just
Do you
in
want to
case.
try to break out of it, Garl?
Yes. Garl is now suddenly feeling competitive.
Make me an athletics check.
Oh, in athletics, you say?
Yeah.
What athletics use?
55.
Garl, you flex, and then this just like breaks, and then you just see this man at the top of the banisters just say, "Fuck."
You are 1,000 years too young to challenge me.
Not this.
Needs more training.
If you don't mind my asking, who else do you have those wards set up for?
Any of the other archmages, if they come in, it alerts me. Garl's the only one I had a little ropey trap for.
Thank you?
But I mean, it was sort of a thing growing anyway.
Oh. I like having things.
As it was sort of a thing between us. I would always try to get you an award. You would always break out of it. Then you'd chase me around for an hour and tell me I need more physical training. It was scary.
Girl starts taking a few steps forward.
Nope.
I mean, who am I to mess with tradition? Those legs look a little weak.
Carl, do you start going up the stairs towards him?
Smiling, just like.
Once you're about 3/4 of the way up, he says, "Nope," and just jumps off the banister from the second-story
Oh.
building.
Oh,
Mr. Fred Thrill!
As he's falling down, once again, right before he hits the ground, wards on the bottom of his shoes activate. You don't need physical strength. If you can have magic, absorb all the blows for you.
I kind of agree with him on that.
I do apologize. Where are my manners at? And they kind of like roughly like correct themselves as much as they can. I am Percival, the Archmage of Adjuration. I'm sure you already know that, but I feel terrible not introducing myself to people. Garl knows me. Hello, Garl. Good to see you again.
I am also pleased to see you. Kind of side to side eyes like Cassandra and Nim and Lynx.
I see Garl doesn't have the memories of our time together. Oh well,
No, that's what I was saying.
I'm sorry. It's a common occurrence.
don't worry about it, Garl. It's
I
understandable.
don't know what my favorite color is.
Oh.
Well, which color makes you happiest when you look at it?
Girl thinks, turns to look at Cassandra. Remind me, what color are her eyes?
Oh.
Oh, like
the
a
drawing, I
pinkish
think they're
coral.
actually a yellow.
No, they're
Right?
like a pinkish coral, almost like a salmon.
Yeah.
What she said.
Oh.
Aw.
It's
A new
that one.
favorite color.
Apologies. My manners, of course. Nimbus Evangeline Amalthea Saint Altair, but I'm assuming you also probably already know that.
Look of horror on his face.
Oh no, you didn't know that.
Ooh.
Is that a you're scared of me being here, or is that a you don't like my family?
You're their offspring.
Yeah.
That's
believe me,
terrifying.
That's a bigger problem for me than it is for you.
That is
Um,
terrifying.
How so?
The fact that the two of them had a child.
Two, actually.
Yeah, they had two. They didn't
It
really
makes you
treat
feel
either
any
one of them
better,
right.
Oh, it's not even a matter of treating him. It's a matter of the magical aptitude that this one must have. Like, you must be an incredibly powerful caster of some sort. Just the pure magical power between your two parents would have caused some. Oh, dear God, I can only imagine how much a monster you are.
Oh,
I wouldn't call her a monster, but I would call her a force to be reckoned with.
I would say I am an adequate caster.
I would say that you're selling yourself short, dear.
I mean, perhaps, but if it makes you feel any better, I'm technically only kind of a person. Homunculus, not fully, technically, I mean, kind of an offspring, but also kind of not. It's a little bit complicated. I'm not sure how familiar you are with the magic involved with creating a person with a soul. I don't know.
You know,
if
we'll
that-
unpack that later.
Yeah, I've kind of been putting it off, to be honest. But anyway, as is Malachor,
All right.
Saint Altair, from my understanding.
So I suppose that if you're all here, that would make you Cassandra.
Hi.
That would make you Lynx, and if Garl's there. And then they like wave their hands, and like two like heavy light wards appear. Do I need to fight you off? Are you here for my sigil? Do I need to fight you off? Well, is this sort of like
Right. That is, we are kind of here for your runestone, but maybe we can talk about it like civilized people.
Yeah. What she said.
I mean, obviously, if it's not something you're willing to give up, then maybe we discuss other alternatives.
make me a diplomacy check?
Okay. Okay. Gonna make shameless requests, so this is gonna be with a plus dose.
Nice.
It's gonna be a 55.
Nice, that's a success. They bring the wards down. You have to understand. I am a bit of a overprotective person.
Yes.
And as much as I would love to give you my runestone and simply saying a good old fuck you to the Archmage, my safety is not the only safety that matters in this current case scenario.
Yes. We've actually heard a bit about that. From what we've heard, you may have helped the Opal Empire, although we don't know yet
Oh.
to what degree.
That's not what I was talking about, but that will probably help when I continue to talk to you in the future. So let's show you my little pet project. Follow me. Garl, just
Project.
jump down. There'll be a ward that stops your fall.
Carl just crosses her arms and leans back over the banister.
Nice.
As Garl's careening head first, ward
Oh, I
flips
didn't think
Garl.
about that.
Ward flips Garl flips Garl right side up and gently places Garl on the ground.
Carl takes a swig from that wineskin. Ooh.
Girl, stop drinking straight scotch out of a water skin, for
It was
goodness
just a little
sakes.
thing. I felt a little queasy from that.
Stop
The
drinking
scotch is
alone.
not
Pass it
going to
here.
help that.
Okay.
Oh, Lynx. These are my compatriots. Garl, you know. Lynx, you will know.
Hello.
They're delightful.
Yes. All right. So, Opal Empire project. And as they begin walking down the steps into this basement area, it comes to another set of double doors. This is going to feel a little bit jarring. This is an extra dimensional space. So, the things stored here are here. They can be taken out of here, but you would be the only people who know they're here currently.
Okay.
All right? So, during the attack on the Opal Empire, led by Therendel, he asked for my help with sort of calibrating the wards for their equipment to fire. The way the magical cannon to Treladar work is that it uses abjuration magic to essentially create a slingshot that fires evocation spells great distances. Now, what that also allows us to do as abjurers is add additional effects to the evocation. In this case, and he opens the door, and you see buildings, and you see possessions, and you see things that look like they have been brought. Everything but the land itself.
Wow.
Does all of the things from the Opal Empire?
Everything that got bombarded on that was on the surface, I managed to save. Just because, cultural significance. Like, it'd be a shame to lose entire culture of people from one attack.
And the people?
From my understanding was that the people largely made it underground.
We only retrieved about 10,000 of them.
There's like a quizzical look on his eyes for a moment. They should have come if they were there.
Yes, well, a lot of the bombardments also dredged up cracks into the shadow plane, so this is wonderful, and I appreciate it, but for a moment I suppose I had hoped that that I had assumed lost to the horrors of the shadow plane might have found some sort of salvation, but
If they're in the shadow.
you need to understand that there were fissures between the planes caused by the excess of evocation, and creatures from the shadow plane were crawling out, and
Thusly, you think that some people may have fallen in.
no, I think they were slaughtered wholesale. I mean, I suppose it's possible that some of them fell into the shadow plane, but I mean, they're civilians. I don't know how they would have survived in such an awful place for this long.
Hypothetically speaking, if there were civilians in the blast radius of things, the civilians should have been taken with it.
Huh. I mean, I suppose Drevern may have been evacuating people quietly before the bombs dropped. I mean, he did have some warning. But,
I'll look into it in what time I have. I apologize. I've been busy.
Of course, of course. But, I mean, there were... And I'm spitballing here, but this was an entire nation of people. There would have theoretically been, like, at least a couple million people.
The Opal Empire had a population of 1.2 million.
Yeah. Of that, we got 10,000
You did.
out of the shadow plane. Theoretically,
Well, through the
maybe
shadow plane.
through the shadow plane, from the underground tunnels. Theoretically, Drevran could have gotten out a decent number more, not too many, lest they give away that they knew what was coming, but
Hmm.
still maybe another several thousand. So that is like literally 1 million people that are not accounted for.
Currently, yes.
So you just think that they're just wandering around in the shadow plane?
I don't know, to be entirely honest with you.
God,
I can show you the wards I used. You can look over them for yourself. You can see that they would work. If there were people that were hit by these blasts, they would have been, barring divine intervention, they would have been brought to me.
Can I roll a religion check to see if divine intervention might have been the culprit here?
Yeah, if
Totally.
you'd like.
Come on. It's gonna be a 51.
There are a number of gods who, like the premise of like people being mercilessly destroyed,
Actually,
would
you know what?
intervene.
With that 51, I'm looking into divine guidance with that.
Well, that would be about Desna specific, though, wouldn't it?
Perhaps. I mean, she is the goddess of travel and luck. So if someone was lucky enough to avoid being nuked, that might fall under her jurisdiction, or traveling to another plane of existence would definitely fall under her jurisdiction.
Believe it or not, this is not a Desnan thing.
Interesting.
There are a number of different gods that can give you that would intervene in a matter like this if they saw fit. None specifically comes to the top of your mind right now, but yes, that could have been something. Like they could have been whisked away by a god and they could be waiting somewhere safe right now. But you think if that was the case, someone would have told you.
That's true. It is my understanding that the Emperor prayed to Sarenrae, so I imagine if it were divine intervention, it would have been she who led that charge, and we spoke with her personally, and she didn't say anything about it. Granted, we were having a different discussion, and it was a little bit loaded, so maybe she just forgot to mention it. But
Little.
Why can't we have your own?
You have to understand, there are people that I want to protect. Specifically, my son, who has recently come of age, has, for lack of a better word, fully drunk the Trelidarian Kool-Aid.
Dolan says,
You hate to see it.
They're currently attending, well, they're going to be entering the new class of recruits at the local academy. Wants to be an amazing magic school of learning. I went there with your parents, Nimbus. But now it's been reduced to little more than a military instruction school. An officer's training program of sorts. If I could return him here, I could keep him safe until this whole conflict ended.
You need to
But
get him expelled.
he wants to fight for Trelidor. And I will be inclined to protect him wherever he ends up. So, I offer you this. You get my son, bring him back home for me. I give you my sigil. Either that, or I hope you allow me to leave this room, go upstairs into a more specialized training room, and we have at it, and you take the sigil from my dead hands and probably end up murdering my child.
That sounds
Which-
rather unpleasant. I'm sure we
Put it
can
that
just
way.
bring him back. Are the two of you on speaking terms? Could you not just invite him back yourself?
I've tried. He's too dedicated to Trelador's cause. To sharing the glory of Trelador. Oh god, the propaganda.
So it isn't bad
Question.
blood then, he's just busy at school.
It's not even busy at school. He's drank the Treladorian Kool-Aid.
Yes.
What part of the Cheladarian Kool-Aid has he found quite enthralling?
I honestly don't know. I don't know why anyone would fall for the propaganda we put out, but that's beside the point.
Would you
I
say he has a
mean-
respect for the histories of the country?
I think he has more of a respect for us sharing our current glory. How mages should rule the world. Things like that.
Okay,
They have
so
a
it's-
method, but it could be might not work.
I mean,
Now-
for all we know, he could be associating you with the government. Maybe he's just trying to make you proud?
I've told him many times that I don't want him fighting for Trelador. That we should only protect the things that matter to us and protect the people that we can protect. But he seems to think that some people don't deserve protecting, and that is my failure as a parent.
Well, at least you're aware of it.
Sometimes kids are just little shits.
Yes.
Yes.
Cassandra.
So, if you are all willing, if you're able to collect my son and bring him back here, he will become unable to leave this place. I will give you my sigil, and I will hopefully be able to put him back onto the right path.
I'm inclined to help you with this regardless, but how exactly do you plan to rehabilitate this line of thinking in him?
Long discussions.
Okay. By force?
Hopefully not. Hopefully by just leaving him to his own devices for a bit, letting him wallow. Eventually, maybe he'll get bored of not having anyone to talk to, comes talks to me. Just slowly rebuild the relationship from there and slowly start to deprogram.
Okay. Whew. Alright. Well, then let's start with a little bit of learning about him, see if there's anything we can trick him with, and, you know, obviously we don't want to fight him, we don't want to knock him unconscious and drag him here. It would be nice if we could just, you know, talk him into it, but maybe trick him. I don't know. What relevant information are you comfortable sharing about your child?
Honestly, I can't share much. He's excelled at magic throughout the entirety of his life. He's studied for many, many years. I would say he's about on par with me when it comes to abjuration and wards. He is very minimalistic. Doesn't care much for possessions, which in itself is a virtue in some cases, but you know, it also means that he lacks self-expression.
Seems to be a lot of that going around in Trelador.
That is a byproduct of war and preparation for war.
I think it's a byproduct of brainwashing.
So if you
I think
can,
there's a lot of people that find community and identity in being a soldier.
and I think that's what he's fallen into.
Alright.
He'll show you to his room. It is bare. Like there's a single basically like vanity.
Oh.
There's like a bed that has like a military sheet on it, and like the covers are beige. The rooms are like a off gray, like the walls are painted in off gray, and then there's a window that goes outside, but like you can see that it's never been opened.
Sad.
Single desk.
Was he always this way?
Yes, he liked to study. He preferred less distractions. He was always excelled from a young age, except when he became a young adult, it seemed he lost purpose. And he found that purpose in a, well, what I'd like to call a very toxic system.
When you say he lost purpose, you don't suppose there could have been any arcane meddling involved in that, do you? Or just, you know, the natural process of someone falling victim to an industrial complex?
I think it was more that, to be honest with you. He had excelled throughout his entire academic life. And then when he was done with academics, there was just nothing there for him. He didn't know what he wanted to do. He'd only ever really studied magic. But abjuration has a very limited use, but it's what he enjoyed, and yeah.
Understood. At the academy, or where he's the military training facility.
Well, thankfully they've kept the old name.
A party's a thing.
No, not anymore.
Do you think the students could be convinced to attend one?
I think it would depend on the person trying to do the convincing.
I can be rather convincing. Do you know if he has anyone at the academy that he would be interested in following to a party, perhaps? For example, it might be difficult to get him, someone who prefers studying in silence and peace and quiet, to a party, but if he, say, had a beau who could be convinced...
He's never talked to me about anything like that. From what I can tell, it's not even on his radar. I may have a way. Well, I do have a way for you to get to him. As the Archmage of Abjuration, I hold a certain level of status in politics.
Right.
And you're all about age anyway. I could produce some papers for you that could gain you admission to the school.
I think that's a good start.
And any other ideological damage you can do while there would probably benefit your cause as well if you're successful.
Yes. 2 birds with 1 stone.
So do we have a deal?
I'm on board with this, if everyone else is.
I'll follow
Hell
your
yeah.
lead.
Please keep in mind, though, we only have about a week before, you know, millions
Yes.
of people are slaughtered.
Then I hope that you work quickly.
Okay, well...
The
fair enough.
new term begins tomorrow, so you at least have timing on your side.
Yes, that we do.
Thank God.
Small
I did not
favors
want to
and
have to
that.
fight. I did not want to have to fight Garl.
I wouldn't either.
I would be dead anyway.
Oh, it's not Garl you need to worry about. You should see what
Wow.
Cassandra does.
This thing with her head,
You forget, Cassandra created Garl, in a way.
I'll
And she
unpack
does that thing with her head.
I'll
Does
unpack
something with
that
her head.
later. He runs up to his office, collects papers for you all, gives them to you. These should gain you entrance to the officers' academy. Orientation is tomorrow and today, so you could probably head there if you want.
All right. I suppose we should go find our dorm rooms.
Yes. Before you go,
Exciting.
my son's name is Vale.
Does he
Uh-huh.
use your last name, Vale Venthrale? Vale?
Yes.
You named him Vale Venthrale?
My wife named him
Right.
Vale.
Oh, I take it back. I'm sorry.
Eh, I don't think you should, but that's good.
Given
of
that
you,
his wife
Nimbus.
is not here right now, that gives me reason to just not speak ill of her choices. Would I happen to have any information on what happened to his wife?
You would not have any information on what happened to his wife. You could ask him.
May I ask, where is she in this picture?
She was vacationing in the Empire when the bombs started falling.
Brutal.
Oof.
Understand, didn't you know?
I did. That's why I protected them. I tried to.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to question your judgment, but why wouldn't you just say now is a bad time for vacation?
Have you ever tried to
Casino?
tell someone? Have you ever tried to tell someone who's dead set in what they want? No.
There's a difference between telling them no and saying you are putting your life in
And-
danger.
To be entirely honest with you, the attacks were sudden. It was a sort of go, go, go. There wasn't much
Oh.
notice for us either.
Hmm.
okay. I believe you. No? Okay.
I hope she is okay.
As do I.
All right. Well, we have school to attend.
Yes. And as we begin our Officers Academy arc,
Oh, boy.
I'm going to say thank you all so much for coming to tonight's episode of the League of Amazing Adventurers. Join us next week as our party goes back to school.
Gotta get back to home.
Grad school. I was right.
Are they going to have are they
Carl's
going to
getting-
have like sort of like, oh, dancing's illegal in this town, let's throw a big party? Adventures, find out next week.
Maybe.
Girls,
Oh
gonna
my
get a
God.
Letterman jacket.
Not Footloose! Not Footloose!
Thank you all so much for coming. Don't forget to
Well,
check out our many other
no.
shows here on the channel, and we'll see you all on the next one.
Unbelievable.
Bye,
Goodbye.
Guys.
Bye bye, everybody.
Tune in for Footloose.